children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well and loving everything that you're learning in science. Isn't it wonderful to know about things around us? So children, we know that everything that happens around us has some scientific reason behind it, isn't it? So children, in science, now we are going to talk about animal world. Okay, we've already spoken about plant world. Okay, we've seen how they reproduce. Okay, now we are going to talk about the animal world and understand it better. Okay, so we are going to learn about habitat and body covering of animals. We're going to talk about different ways in which animals breathe, the movement in animals, and we are going to talk about migration. All right, so animals are found nearly in all parts of the earth, including land, water, air and trees. A place where a particular organism naturally lives is called its habitat. So, wherever the organism lives, okay, that is its habitat, okay. The surrounding in which the organisms live and grow is called the environment. So, this is applicable to all living organisms, okay. Where they live is the habitat and the area surrounding it is the environment, okay. Now, what is the habitat of animals, okay? The animals which live on land, they are called terrestrial animals, okay. The animals which live in water, they are called aquatic animals. The animals which live on tree, okay, the animals that live on tree like the monkeys and all, okay, those animals are called arboreal animals. And the animals that live in air, they are called aerial animals, okay, like the birds, they are the aerial animals. All right, children. So, terrestrial animals means the animals that live on land like lion, tiger, giraffe. So, those are terrestrial animals. Animals in water are aquatic animals like whale, shark, etc. Okay, all the fish. Okay, then arboreal, like I said, the monkeys and all, those who live on the tree. Okay, and the animals that fly in the air or they live in air, they are known as the arboreal animals. All right. So, now let's first talk about the on land animals. Let's see the examples of it. It's like elephant, cockroach and camel. On trees, it's monkey, woodpecker and squirrel. In water, fish, frog, crocodile. So, children, one more thing about frog is that frog is such an animal that can live on land as well as in water. So, it is known as an amphibian. Okay, so those animals that can live on land as well as in water are called amphibians. Okay, for example, the frog. In air, it's eagle, butterfly and bat. Okay, so these are some of the examples of animals that live in different places, the habit according to their habitat. Now, let's talk about the body covering of animals. See, like the way we humans have a skin on us. Okay, so that is our body covering. But if you look at the animals, their body coverings is totally different. Okay, so let's talk about that in detail. The body covering helps animals to live in a particular habitat and protect them from cold, rain, danger, etc. Animals don't wear clothes like the way we wear clothes. So that is the reason why they have their body covering that protects them from different types of weather conditions, from enemies. Okay, so let's talk about the body of fish. It is covered with scales. Okay, so they have scales on their body. For example, a rohu fish. Okay, the body of amphibian is slimy. Okay, that is the body of frog. It is slimy. Okay, they have a moist skin which helps them to breathe as well. Okay, in reptiles, the body of snake, crocodile, lizard is covered with scales. Okay, you must have observed it. They have scales on their body. Whereas in tortoise, snail and turtle, the body is protected by a hard shell. The shell protects the body. So, whenever they sense danger, what they do is they hide themselves inside the shell. Okay. Now, the body of bird is covered with feathers. Example, the pigeon, crow, we've seen that their entire body is covered with feathers. Now, the body of mammals, it is covered with hair. For example, dog, cat. Sheep and bear, they possess special body covering called fur and wool. Okay. Now, you can look at the picture and you'll come to know what are the different coverings on the different animals. We don't even have to look at them because we've already seen so many animals, okay, and we see them all around. So, that's the fact of these animals. These body coverings protect them. Okay. Now, let's talk about breathing in animals. How do they breathe? They don't breathe like the way we breathe. Through our nose, through our lungs, the respiration process happens. So, their breathing system is totally different. So, all animals, they need oxygen. That is a ground rule. Everybody, every living organism lives on oxygen. Okay. Now, where do these animals get oxygen from? They get oxygen from the air, like the way we get oxygen from the air or water, okay, or water that surrounds them. So, depending on the type of habitat where they live, okay, they get their oxygen either from air or from water. Okay. Now, let's talk about the different organs of breathing. Okay. So, organisms like amoeba and paramecium, they live in water and they breathe through their body surface. So, their body surface which is there, that is their organ of breathing. Okay. Earthworm, have you ever seen an earthworm, how it is? Okay. Earthworm which lives in the soil, it lives in the soil, it also breathes through the moist skin. So, the skin that they have is very moist, it helps them in breathing. Okay. Insects such as cockroaches, okay, they breathe through air holes which are on their bodies. These air holes, they are called spiracles. Okay. So, the air holes on the body surface of the cockroach is called spiracles, so which helps them to breathe. Aquatic animals like fish, prawn, crabs breathe air dissolved in water through gills. So, they breathe through their gills. Gills have a rich supply of oxygen, and oxygen from water passes into the gills and carbon dioxide passes out. Okay. So, they get oxygen from gills, okay, and then the carbon dioxide is passed out. Now, so if you look at the picture, you will come to know that different animals have different breathing organs, okay, like the fish have gills, amoeba body surface, earthworm is the moist skin, whale, okay, whale breathes through lungs like the way we do, okay, human beings we use lungs, okay, frog on land, lungs, and in water through moist skin. Okay. Tadpole, that is the baby of the frog, it is gills. Okay. And grasshopper, cockroach, they have spiracles. Now, amphibians like frogs and toads, they breathe through lungs when they are on land, whereas when they are in the water, they breathe through their moist skin. Now, birds, reptiles and mammals, they breathe through lungs. They have lungs just like the way we have lungs. Okay. Now, let's talk about the feeding in animals. All animals require food to grow, to get energy and to stay healthy, isn't it? So, different animals eat different types of food. Their mouth parts and their feeding habits depend on the type of food they eat. So, insects such as mosquitoes and bugs, what do they have? They have sharp needle-like mouth parts, okay, for sucking blood. So, mosquitoes and bugs, what do? They survive on the blood, okay, of other organisms. So, they have sucking blood, they have the needle-like mouth parts which help them to suck the blood, okay. Butterflies and bees, they have slender sucking tubes to suck nectar from flowers. So, butterflies, bees have a sucking tube because they suck the nectar which is inside the flower. Okay. Rodents like rabbits, rats and squirrels, they gnaw the seeds and fruits. Okay. They have the gnawing habit, okay, and they gnaw the food through their sharp teeth. Okay. They have sharp teeth which help them to gnaw the food, okay, that they eat. They can cut the seeds and all with their gnawing teeth, the sharp teeth that they have. Okay. Now, frogs and lizards, they have a long sticky tongue to catch their prey like insects and worms. So, whenever they see their prey, that is the insects or worms, their food, okay, what they do is they just slip out their tongue. Their tongue is really very long and it is sticky, and then the insect, it sticks on their tongue and they quickly roll their tongue back inside their mouth. Okay. Now, herbivores or plant eating animals like cow, buffalo, goat, deer, etc., they have sharp front teeth which are known as the incisors, okay, which are used for cutting and biting the grass. They have strong molars for grinding food. Okay. Now, carnivores. Who are carnivores? Okay, the animals, they are the flesh eating animals, animals that eat the flesh of other animals. Okay. So, flesh eating animals or carnivores like lion, wolf, they have strong pointed teeth, okay, to tear flesh. So, they have strong pointed teeth. Snake and frog, they swallow their food as whole. Okay. The snake does not have teeth, so it swallows its prey as whole. Okay. Similarly with frog also. Now, omnivores. Who are the omnivores? Omnivores are the animals that eat both flesh as well as the plants. Okay. So, omnivores are those that eat both plants and animals, okay, or flesh of the other animals. Example, dog, cat, bear, crow, humans, etc. Now, let's talk about the movement in animals. Animals need to move from one place to another in search of food, to protect themselves from the enemies and to breed. Okay. Insects, they have 6 legs for movement. Okay. Like we have 2 legs, insects have 6 legs. Grasshopper uses its long hind legs for hopping. So, if you've ever seen a grasshopper, you can look at it in the picture also. It uses his front hind legs for hopping. Lice, bugs, termites, they use legs to crawl. They crawl, but they have 6 legs. Mosquito, butterfly and housefly, they have wings to fly in the air. Okay. Next, aquatic animals. Aquatic animals means water animals. Okay. They, like the fish, they have 2 paired fins which are used to move forward. The unpaired fin and tail fin, they help to change the direction of movement. Now, the marlin, a fish, okay, that can swim with the speed of fast running car. That means it is so fast, okay, and it has a tail fin, it has fin, okay. You can look at the picture of marlin, okay. Frogs. Frogs have webbed feet, okay. If you look at their feet, they are webbed, they are joined, okay. They are webbed feet to swim when in water, and they use their long hind legs to jump on land, okay. Whenever they are on land, they use their hind legs to jump. And frogs also, if you've observed them ever, if you've gone to a village place or if it rains, okay, generally in areas where there is a lot of grass or a lot of mushy places and all, that's where you see the frogs, okay. They jump really very fast, okay. Now, turtles and tortoises, they have padded like limbs. These limbs push water and help them in swimming. Reptiles. Reptiles like crocodiles, chameleon, lizard, etc., they have limbs to move, okay. They move with their limbs. It's like they crawl only, but they move around with their limbs, and they are also very fast. Snakes do not have limbs. They have scales on the underside of the body. They have scales which help them to crawl on the surface of the land. The strong and flexible muscles of snake contract and expand, and they move forward. Birds. Birds have wings, and those wings help them to fly. Now, the birds, they have light and hollow bones. Because of those light and hollow bones, they are able to lift themselves off the land surface, okay. And when they can lift themselves in the air with the wings, they can fly, okay. Now, there are certain birds okay, which are birds, okay, they have all the characteristics of birds, but they cannot fly. The reason being that their bones are not as light as the bones of other birds, okay, and that is the reason why they are not able to lift themselves. Some can lift a little bit, but not completely. So they have heavy body, like the ostrich. That's why it cannot fly in the air. All right, now birds use their hind legs for walking, hopping and perching. Birds like emu, ostrich, kiwi, okay, they have wings but they cannot fly due to the large size, okay, the heaviness and the large size that they have, and hence they are called flightless birds. Now, mammals. Mammals have 2 forelimbs and 2 hind limbs. What are mammals? Mammals are the animals that can reproduce, okay. Camels, dogs and cows use all 4 limbs, okay, for walking and running. So, these mammals, they give birth to the young ones, okay, like the way we humans, we are also mammals, we also give birth to babies, okay. Human beings use hind limbs, okay, that is legs for walking, whereas forelimbs, that is hands and arms for holding things, okay. Penguins. Have you ever seen a penguin? Happy feet? Yes. Penguins use their 2 forelimbs, okay, flippers. They are called flippers to push water and to swim. On land, they use their feet for walking. Now, there is something called migration. What do you understand by the term migration? Migration means from moving from one place to another. Okay. So, migration is the mass movement of animals in response to climatic changes from one place to another and back. So, what happens is, sometimes when it is extreme winter, these birds they move from one place to another, okay, or animals, they leave their area, their habitat, and they move to another area which is where the conditions are friendly for them or suitable for them, okay. So, if it is extremely cold, they move from that area and they stay in another area which is warm enough to keep them warm, okay. And then once the winters are over, once that season is over, they go back to their place. So, why do these animals migrate? They also migrate in search of food, okay, to avoid the harsh weather conditions and for breeding purposes, okay. Now, migration is most common in birds, okay. The bird Arctic tern travels a distance of nearly 35,000 kilometers between the Arctic and Antarctica twice a year. Siberian cranes, they come to India every year in winter to breed. Insects like locusts, they travel in huge swarm and destroy standing crops. Monarch butterflies, they migrate from Canada and North America to Mexico. Now, let us do this activity, okay. You need to find out the names of local migratory birds of India and what pattern do they follow. Second activity is to visit a zoo with your elders. Write the names of different birds and animals you see there and categorize them according to their movement, like flying, running, swimming and crawling. Okay. Now, let us revise this entire chapter. So, I hope everything is clear about the animal world now. Okay. The place where a particular organism lives naturally is called its habitat. Animals live in different environments and they have different features. Different animals have different body coverings. Different animals have different organs of breathing like body surface, spiracles, gills and lungs. Animals have different feeding organs like teeth, beak, sucking tube, sticky tongue, etc. Mass movement of animals in response to climatic change from one place to another and back is known as migration. Okay? Now, let us see how much you followed by doing this exercise. Multiple choice question. Take the correct option. This animal has scales on its body. Ostrich, deer, fish or human? It is fish. Locusts are harmful migratory birds, insects, fish or reptiles. They are insects. The body covering of an animal helps it to move, hibernate, migrate or live in a particular habitat. To live in a particular habitat. The breathing organs of amphibians are gills, lungs, body surface or both lungs and body surface. It is both lungs and body surface. The place where a particular animal lives naturally is habitat, environment, niche or surroundings. It is habitat. Now, fill in the blanks. The ostrich is a dash bird. It is a flightless bird. It cannot fly. Dash breathes through its body surface. Okay, it's the amoeba. Butterflies and bees have slender sucking tubes to suck nectar from the flowers. The dash is a migratory bird that makes longest migration. It is the Arctic tern. The body of mammals is covered with hair. Snakes have legs to move, true or false? It is false. A cockroach breathes through spiracles. Is it true? Yes. All animals eat the same kind of food? No. They eat different kind of food. Okay. Fish breathes through lungs? It is false. Okay. There are some fish that do breathe through lungs. It is like the whale. Okay. But not all the fish. Animals migrate to have fun? No, they don't migrate to have fun. It is the conditions that make them to migrate from one place to another, like search of food, weather conditions or to breed. Now, match the column. Body of tortoise, what does it have? It has a hard shell. Body of fish has scales. Body of cow, it has hair. Body of pigeon has feathers. And the body of frog is slimy. Alright. Now, take the odd one out from the following. Kiwi, ostrich, pigeon or emu? Pigeon, because pigeon can fly. The rest of them are flightless birds. Cow, lizard, dog or camel? It is the lizard. Lizard is a reptile. Tortoise, snake, crocodile and lizard, which is the odd one out here. It is the tortoise. Okay. Cow, deer, goat or lion? Which is the odd one here? Lion. Lion is a carnivore. Give one example of the following. This is what you have to give the examples here now. Okay. You have to give an example of herbivore animals. Animals that eat plants only. Then the animals whose body is covered with hair. Okay. Then flightless bird. Birds that cannot fly. And migratory bird. The bird that migrates from one place to another. And an aquatic animal, animal that lives in water. Okay, so you have to give it as per your choice. Now, choose the correct option. Most animals have 4 limbs or 2 limbs. It is 4 limbs. Okay, turtles or frogs use their paddle-like limbs to swim. It is the turtle. Owl or kiwi is a flightless bird. Kiwi. Birds or fish breathe through lungs. Birds. Okay. Now, classify the given animals and write in correct column on the basis of their respiratory organs. So, you have to tell which are the respiratory organs, okay, and accordingly put the animal in that column. So, the animal names are fish, amoeba, crow, humans, monkey, snake, butterfly, whale and cockroach. Okay. And the different organs of breathing are body surface, spiracles, gills and lungs. So, you have to classify them now. Alright. Now, short answer question. How the body of following animals is covered? Okay. So, you have to tell us what are the coverings of these animals. Okay. Fish, frog, snake and dog. You have to name 2 insects in each category with and without wings. So, which are the 2 insects that have wings and that do not have wings? What happens to the fish when taken out of water? What will happen to a fish if it is taken out of the water and why? How do snakes move without limbs? Okay. What is it? What is the special characteristic that the snakes have which help them to move? And how do frogs swim in water? Okay. Now, long answer questions. What is migration? And why do animals migrate? So, migration we already know that it's the process of movement from one place to another. And why is it that? That's the answer that you need to mention. Why do animals acquire various ways of feeding? Okay, so it's on the features that they have. So mention about it. Define habitat. What are the different habitats? Okay, and give 2 examples of each. Differentiate among herbivore, carnivore and omnivores. Okay, and with examples. Name a few animals that are found around you. Whatever animals are found around you, name a few of them and give us one characteristic feature of each animal. So, suppose you see a crow around you or a dog. So, write about it and give some special characteristic features about that animal. Now, critical thinking skills. A whale lives in water and swims with the help of its fins, but it is not a fish. Explain. Because it is a mammal. A whale is a mammal. It has lungs to breathe and has all the features of mammals. Ostrich's egg, okay, is the largest cell. It has wings, yet it does not fly. Why? Because it is huge. It is large in size, but it can run very fast. Okay. Case-based study. Organisms like amoeba and paramecium live in water and breathe through the body surface. Earthworms, which live in the soil, okay, also breathe through their moist skin. Insects such as cockroach breathe through the air holes on their body. These air holes are called spiracles. Aquatic animals like fish, prawn, crabs breathe air dissolved in water through gills. Gills have a rich supply of oxygen. Oxygen from water passes into the gills and carbon dioxide is passed out. Okay. Amphibians like frogs and toads, they breathe through lungs when they are on land, and whereas when they are in water, they breathe through their moist skin. Birds, reptiles and mammals breathe through lungs. So, amoeba breathes through the body surface. Fish breathes through their gills. Insect breathe through air holes. Mammals breathe through lungs. Frogs breathe through lungs, moist skin, body surface of both A and B. It is both A and B. Okay. Life skills. You have seen birds flying in the sky. How can you help them? How can you help the birds? Okay. Make a water bowl for them and hang it on a nearby tree. Take 3 strings and tie a knot. Attach a hook and hang it on the tree. Fill it with water and refill it if required. Okay. Let's do something new. Visit a national park or zoological park and carefully observe the different animals, and then you have to write a report and present it to the class. Okay. Observe fish in an aquarium. See the different types of fishes in big aquarium and locate the flap-like structures on either side of the body. Observe the movement of the flaps, gills that are present below the flaps, and observe the color of the gills. Okay. Now, explore. This is something that you need to do. Desert is very hot during the days, especially in summer months. The water also becomes scarce during these days. The animals remain in burrows and are inactive during these days. What is this summer inactivity of desert animals called, and how is this helpful for them? Okay. So, this is what you need to find out. And who is an ornithologist? Okay, what do you mean? Who is this? Who is an ornithologist? And you have to find out about them and what work they do. So, this is something that you need to explore. But before you start exploring, you need to quickly reread the chapter and complete all the exercises. So, get going, children.